What is up, everybody? This is Joe Adams, and welcome to the Relentless Pursuit podcast. As always, we got my man Logan Hyder of Cinema 83 LLC in the house, doing all the production and recording all that. Man, that was smooth.
Very nice.
I had to acknowledge that in my intro.
We only had to talk for 10 minutes to get before.
I was warm. It was like a warm-up set.
Yeah.
And today,
back again.
Is my man Roy Mangrum.
Hello.
Roy is the owner of Barbell Voodoo, in case you haven't seen any past episodes. And he's just got a lot going on. You got Barbell Voodoo. What else?
Yeah.
You got the magazine.
The magazine. Me and Terry bought Nashville Fit Magazine. And we did the expo last year. Brought that back. Huge success. So now we're working on it for this year, May 13th.
Okay.
At the Nashville Fairgrounds, 71,000 square feet of fitness.
Ooh, and we'll be covering more of that.
Yeah.
Because that's a pretty exciting thing.
It's a big deal. Am I the first three-time guest?
So I was going to say that too. So you are the first three-time guest, but one of them doesn't count yet.
Been
out.
Not yet.
Unless you're subscribed to Patreon.
That is right. So by the time you listen to this,
it'll be
set up.
Yeah, because last time we saw Roy, it was me, Roy, Logan, and Tyler Gentry.
4 hours of debauchery.
We decided to do a whiskey night podcast,
and it went so well. Like to what we wanted it to be. Well, it was exactly what we wanted.
I was fucking hammered.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like,
remember,
dude.
We sat down to do some debauchery and we did some. I mean, we accomplished the goal. We just did it so well. We were like, maybe we should hold on to this one for a minute.
I'll have to subscribe so I can watch and see what I said.
Dude, there was people walking in and out of the door. Like his fiance came in.
That's right, she did.
She had to come get me, bro.
Oh god,
Logan was just too fucking trash.
Yeah,
dude, that was a wild one.
So much fun though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying too. I've told him like I haven't even looked at it, bro. I have not looked at it to edit it or anything because I knew we weren't gonna be putting it out, and it's so fucking long.
It is.
And I was like, God, this is gonna be crazy to try to edit. So I knew we weren't really gonna put it out. So I was like, I haven't. So I've not even looked at it, bro. But it's funny because we all three have the same kind of like when I do, I'm probably gonna hit play like this, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Just with one eye
starts
open,
off.
At least the first hour is going to be calm.
Yeah.
And then
We did record for 4 hours. How the hell?
4 hours, bro.
Yeah, it was a shit show, man. It was fun though. I'm not gonna lie, I was hungover.
Well, we also said when we started, like, this will be a marathon, first marathon pod.
I don't drink whiskey though, so like I was hungover. Like last night, I drank a bottle of wine, and I woke up today 100 miles an hour. So next time, I'm sticking with my wine.
Yeah,
because I don't feel like shit. But the whiskey had me like I was struggling. I couldn't sleep because I get like that hot, like sweaty kind of from drinking whiskey.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, not me, dude. It doesn't affect me that way. But I've actually since then I've cut my drinking down to almost nothing.
Yeah,
I mean maybe once a month.
Yeah, I drink once a week. I'll drink some wine.
One nightcap. 2 ounce pour.
Was that like a January 1 decision or?
No, it's just you wake up one day and you're like, dude, this is getting a little out of hand.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You're getting a little You're getting a little.
No, I didn't do anything crazy, but it became ritualistic, right? Mm-hmm. So like, and we may have touched on this then, but like when COVID happened, right? Everybody's at home and you got shit to do. So we had like our little group of friends that would come by the house.
Yeah.
Me and my buddy, we work out together. He loves bourbon. I love bourbon. We put two of us together with nothing else to do.
Yeah, right.
And dude, we was just killing a half a gallon like twice a week.
Yeah.
Like, this probably ain't good, right? Yeah. And then come out of that, ease it up a little bit, but then you just catch yourself getting into those every night, get done working, you're tired, grab a cigar, grab a bourbon, go outside, watch some TV. But that was every single night, right? And then on the weekends, you may go out somewhere, have a couple, 3 drinks.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this is kind of getting old. And then after that, probably a month or two after that, I was like, dude, I'm just going to back off for a while. I'm trying to get myself in shape.
Yeah,
I was just going to say.
That's a lot of empty calories, dude.
No, it's a ton of empty calories.
It's like 2,000 empty calories.
Yeah, it's so bad
for how much I was drinking.
Yeah, it's super bad. And I agree with everything.
That's a shit ton of calories.
I agree with everything you said. I'm trying to cut weight for boxing. It's like, it's impossible, bro. You drink 6 to 12.
You drink that and then go to bed.
Well, that's the thing. And beer's the worst.
Your sleep, dude. Whiskey will fuck your recovery in half. Like, for me at least, and my dad is the same, like whiskey in particular, because I wear this every day, you know, tracks my recovery, all that shit. Dude, I could have...
Oh, you got Whoop money? Is that what I see over there?
It's only
got that Whoop.
I didn't know you had that Whoop money.
It's $20
Whoop money
a month,
out there.
It's just $20 a month.
Way
Anyways.
too high class.
Yeah. Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't even have a watch. Yeah.
Anyways, my point is that I could get 3 hours of sleep and
Says Roy with the Rolex on.
Stop.
Yeah. Roy was like, don't even... He's like, shit.
I hope you don't say that.
Yeah. But I could have 3 hours of sleep without any alcohol, get a 55, 65% recovery, which is decent. And I could sleep for 9 hours. And if I've been drinking whiskey, 17,
really?
23%. I mean, you can sleep for as long as you want. Doesn't matter. Because you never fall asleep. You never get to
you don't
like,
hit the deep.
You never get to
Yeah.
the regenerative stage of sleep. So like your body's going to feel like shit. Your mind's going to, like I have anxiety, you know, that I deal with in general. So whenever I'm drinking, dude, it's so bad. Like, and it gets to the point where your anxiety makes you want to drink more. Cause like, well, shit, this is, and like Jordan Peterson talked one time about people that do have a lot of, like have a high level of anxiety, that alcohol is like their best friend. Cause it's like the only thing that will shut your brain off.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, and then the other thing I was going to touch on is like the habitual side to it. Like I noticed that I was like I would come home from a podcast, and like I'd get off my exit and I would turn left automatically to go to the gas station, like to get beer.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably not great.
But you find those habits, right? Those, like I said, I'd get done working for the day, turn my computer off, grab a cigar, pour a bourbon on the way out to the back deck,
Yeah.
turn the TV
Exactly.
on.
That's a trick. It's like a trigger. You're done with work for the day.
Stupid mindless TV for 2 hours.
But it takes a toll. Yeah. Just the whole combination of it isn't good.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, you could be doing a little more productive, I guess you could say too.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
But when you drink, you just chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't drink much liquor because it does make me feel like shit. Beer just makes me sick. And I drink red
beer.
I love red wine, man. I love Cabernets and Pinots, and like that's all I drink. I don't get hungover. I don't act out. I feel really good, and you know, I don't know. I can rest well on it, so I just stick with that, man.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like you don't have to fucking, like you were saying, you don't have to like get into a car accident or something. Like you just feel like shit every day. Like that.
At some point, you're like, yeah, this is over.
Right.
Yeah.
Like hopefully hopefully you don't have to. Like,
Yeah.
but at some point you just gotta feel tired of feeling sick and tired.
Dude.
I also do this weird thing, like when
sick
I wake
and tired of being sick.
Yeah,
and
when I
tired.
wake up in the morning, I do like a review of everything I did the day before, like automatically. My mind just does that. I just wake up and I'm like, oh, this is how yesterday went. So when I'm drinking, I
all
start
foggy.
I start my day off in like shame. Like the first thing I wake up, I'm like, what did I do? Oh yeah, I drank too much. So now my whole day has started off with this mindset of like beating myself up, you know, and it's just
I think everybody does that, dude, because I'll, like, what did I say?
right.
How did they take that? Do I owe somebody an apology?
Was that a little too aggressive? No,
yeah.
maybe.
Did I say something stupid? I offend somebody?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have a cousin of mine who is, he calls himself an alcoholic, so I can call him an alcoholic. But he, I was playing Hogwarts Legacy the other day, and I was telling him, like, he needs to get it or whatever. And he's like, it's not on Xbox. And I was like, dude, we've had this conversation probably 5 times. Okay. It is on Xbox. I've Googled it for you. I've told you. You've acknowledged it. But he's drunk.
You've got PS5 money and Whoop money.
Who is this guy?
Let's
How much
not-
are you paying this joker?
Let's not put it out there like that at all. Yeah, first of all, the PS5 I've had for 2 years, and I'm.
Oh, so he got it when it came
so
out.
you got it when it was expensive.
Oh,
How did this happen?
Jesus.
How did
he
this
probably
happen?
bought one of the ones that got upcharged like $5,000.
Yeah, he
did.
He was like, oh,
He's on StockX.
that's
How
side
did this
money.
happen?
brand.
How did this happen? Oh my
Holy
goodness
cow.
gracious! This, by the way, when you get a Whoop strap, this is free. So this is free.
There is nothing free, Logan.
Well, you pay for the subscription. I'm just saying this is free. Now there are some of these that are expensive as fuck.
He sold your soul. He sold his soul.
That's
though.
what it
Did
was.
something.
And that's probably
No, that's what
that's
it
quite
was.
the price.
That's what it was, dude.
Well, anyways, so glad everyone's not drinking as much. Fuck yeah. You know,
Hey, that's not a bad way
positive
to-
thing.
Yeah.
There you go.
That being said, so Roy, you know, we'll get into what else you've been into, but you know, to start, I know you're excited. Tell us about the Music City Fit Expo.
Yeah, man. So largest, to start off, is the largest fitness expo in the South, period. Not only spectators, right? Should have over 3,000 this year. I had over 2,200 last year. 71,000 square feet. So
A little bit of room.
facility-wise, it is the largest.
Yeah.
Should have around 140 vendors. All of our vendors are fitness-based businesses, so we don't have Nothing against the Gutter Guards of the world and, Joe's Insurance Barn.
Yeah.
Those all have their place. This is not it.
Yeah.
It's all fitness-based businesses. So the attendees, so all your fitness enthusiasts are walking around. They're your potential customers, every one of those vendors. So that, and then 6 competitions going on throughout the day. There's a strongman. I just forgot the name of it. But it's the strongman event that we had last year. Blake puts it on, does an amazing job, gets a huge crowd. It's always exciting to watch. This year we've added powerlifting. So an old a federation I competed in for probably 9 years. Reached out to him. They're bringing their nationals to the expo, which is going to be awesome. They're also doing a biggest bench press competition. And a guy tagged me yesterday doing an 800-pound to a one board bench press. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
So
biggest bench press, you'll get you'll get everybody out there for that one.
Yeah. So you got that. You've got weightlifting as well. So standard, clean and jerk snatch, weightlifting competition. There's a Ninja Warrior course that you can run.
Damn.
Yeah, so you can watch people compete, or you can just run it for fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sign
so
a
anybody
waiver,
can do
please.
it.
Yeah.
You can just walk up and do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sign a waiver, please.
Don't do it before you sign the waiver.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
Really
Danny
cool,
D will be doing Move Fit there as well. And I know I'm forgetting somebody. Special Olympics. They'll be doing their combine for the Special Olympics. That'll be there.
Interesting.
That'll be so much fun to watch. We saw them guys this past weekend. You talk about athletes that appreciate the crowd, those guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're fired up. They fired me up. I'm like, pick up that ball,
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun to watch. And then just announced today, of course, by the time this comes out, it'll be old news, but just announced today, 4-time Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler
Sweet.
will be there doing a meet and greet. First time ever in Nashville, Tennessee.
Who's that again?
Yeah. He's only got like 2.6 million followers on the Instagram.
That's it?
That's it, man. You'd think he'd have more. It's like, you don't have 2.7? What's going on?
When he's there, he'd just be like, hey, you need to get on the Relentless Pursuit podcast while you're
maybe
in
I
town.
know, right?
Maybe I'd help you out with that whole follower.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That is awesome.
He could not be a nicer guy to deal with. So he'll be there. So, and I'm sure, but between now and then we'll announce new stuff and more stuff. But it's gonna be huge, dude. It's massive.
I'll tell you what. So I told Terry, I want to be there, and I'm planning on it. But it's kind of the baby's due May 21st.
Terry said that's the best reason we've been given so far.
My baby's due May 21st, but she's measuring like a week ahead, which is like right then. And I'm just like, I don't know, man.
Terry was like,
it would be my,
that is a good.
It would be my luck. I'm like, at the expo, like bullshitting, and like I miss a couple calls, and then I call Lydia back. She's like, need to get. Oh
There's
man,
a baby halfway out.
yeah, dude. So you get it.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those situations. But I do hope to be there because
We'll play it by ear.
I know it's going to be fucking epic.
Hopefully she'll arrive on the 11th.
But this is like the biggest event of my life. It's happening.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. No, that is.
Can't miss that. I mean, but anyways,
But no, they've done a fantastic job on it. Just jump in real quick. I was involved with it last year, and
I know it looks so cool. Like it looks badass.
yeah, just like we were talking about with Terry last week, or I guess whenever this comes out. But what we were talking about with Terry, what I thought was really cool doing the stuff beforehand was like telling the story we didn't really have much to use, but just sitting down and talking about.
Man.
Just sitting down and talk, like, cause Terry mentioned on the podcast, he was like, he was asking Ryan, like, what do you have? Like, do you have any assets? Do you have anything? And Ryan was basically like, I got nothing, zero. And at the time, that's what I was like, do we have any videos from before? And it's like, we didn't have anything, but the expo has such a story to it. And it's got so many people that have been involved and so many people that were a part of it before it stopped. And then the people that were, you and Terry and Ryan, even like we were specifically talking about how awesome it was that Ryan like shared, like obviously he allowed, I guess, pass the torch to you guys, but also that video was anchored by him saying like, hey, this is what it is. And this is kind of where it grew from.
Yeah. Yeah, that was super cool. Number one, it was challenging, right? If I'm going to be involved with it, I want it to be at a certain level.
Yeah.
I don't want anything less than. So it had to be bigger than whatever he did previously. Mm-hmm. Right. So that was number one in my book. Of course, we're talking to him, and There's no assets, no video assets, no photos, nothing.
Which I almost don't even know how that's possible.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, how do you sell something
without any
off an idea?
Yeah.
This is going to be a test.
Yeah.
So, I started working on the pitch deck and just kind of trying to find whatever. I'd Google Music City Fit Expo. I'd look on Instagram, Music City Fit Expo. Any photo or video you saw before the stuff you filmed was all stuff people had tagged on Instagram.
Which is brilliant on your part to go.
I mean, that was like, well, you got to find something,
yeah, it was
right?
brilliant, yeah.
And I wasn't going to use another expo's photos and try to pass it off, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's what we did. And, I did all the content for that and put that out. Then we got with you and did the story, reached out to Ryan. I was like, hey, brother, would you mind? He's like, absolutely. You tell me when.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. And just, he was so cool. So cool. And he still is. Like, I'll talk to him and, hey, what do you think of this? When we were building up to the last year's, hey, what's your opinion? Should we do this? He was, kind of helped me steer clear of a couple of potholes he had hit before.
Yeah.
So he was invaluable. But, this year, like I said, last year was big. This year is just ridiculously big.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine.
Yeah.
And that kind of what I was building to there is I think that you did accomplish the goal of like taking it and freaking running with it. I mean, I remember I think it was even the week of, you were telling me about some of your pre-sales and stuff. And I was like, dude, I think the people that walk up that day and afterwards you said it was very successful, it went exactly how you wanted to. And I was like, dude,
the walk-up sales surprised me.
Well, I think you told me that based on the trends of how the walk-up sales went before, you were kind of like, so it should be this, but I don't think. And I was like, maybe.
I didn't think we'd break 2,000.
Yeah, it was crazy. There was a lot of people there.
But you did.
What was crazy was just people walking up, and I'm like, all right, everybody get ready to, I'm talking to the people working the check-in. I'm like, everybody get ready to scan their phones. Everybody's walking up with cash in their hand.
Yeah.
Like the first hour was walk-ups.
I felt like it was going to be that way.
That's pretty sweet.
That was real sweet.
You were like, hell yeah.
That's money I didn't plan on.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about shit when it comes to event planning, but I did feel that you would have a lot.
I didn't either.
I did feel like the walk-ups would be huge though. And one of the reasons was because it's Nashville. I feel like there's so much going on that people make a decision like that, like the day of. I think a lot of them. So like they wake up that, oh yeah, that is going on. Yeah, let's go do that. So it was really good to see that, but it was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible.
And you learn to like, having never planned anything like this before and then the first one you do is this scale.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Looking at ticket sales and I'm like, man, ticket sales are just slow. Mm-hmm. But then like, was it 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out? It just got
started picking up
nuts.
Yeah.
Like 5 weeks out, it was like my phone just was going crazy with notifications.
Yeah.
We started with the billboards. The billboards were up around town, which was, I think that was a cool touch too.
Yeah.
Something different. Nobody else does that crap with events around here, or fitness events around here.
For sure. Yeah, I never seen anybody else do that.
Yeah. And again, man, you got to spend money to make money, right?
Yeah.
And I remember we were doing all this and people were asking like, are y'all going to make any money on this? I'm like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we are or not, but what I know is it's going to be a certain level, right? Yeah. And maybe it's a long game, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't make money for a couple of years.
On the first couple,
If I don't lose money, okay. Everybody has a big party.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The whole point of it anyway is bringing everybody together, bringing the fitness, all the fitness businesses and industries all under one roof.
Yep.
People can collaborate. Me and you, we may not have ran in the same circles before, right? I'm over here, with Barbell Voodoo in the CrossFit world. You're not in the CrossFit world.
Yeah.
So we may not have ever met. We meet, we're like, shit, this is my guy right here.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's what it's for.
Yeah, just bringing people together, man.
And
I will say, like, as far as businesses go in Tennessee, there's a lot of really cool people running these businesses too. So they're great connections to be had and just really cool people to be surrounded by. And everybody's willing to help each other out for the most part, you know? And so that's the cool thing too. Like everybody's kind of wants others to succeed and do well. There's no like fucking fighting for this or that. There's no beef.
No,
everybody seems to be pretty cool. And
everybody
supportive.
should. I mean, and there's plenty to go around.
Oh yeah.
Plenty. We live in a very,
Abundant.
our area, Nashville, Murfreesboro, that whole radius, there's plenty of people doing fitness. They got there's plenty of money to go around. All these businesses. It's like we were talking before the thing. I'm like, hey, do this. You can save a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
I could be.
Why the hell not?
Why,
You could be
why
like, hey,
not?
do this.
It doesn't hurt me to help you.
Right.
Why do people? I don't know.
Yeah.
I never got that.
He's giving away his secrets.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
taking
care.
over.
Shit, who cares?
Well, let's take a break here in a second. But the last thing I did want to note too is, as far as the attendees go, one thing that was really cool, like just the regular guests. One thing that I thought was cool is that the businesses really put a lot of thought into, their offers. Like every booth you walk up to, there's a giveaway or there's a free session for this or there's a free session for that. I mean, I got out my stack of stuff from the expo the other day, and free massage, free cryotherapy. I mean, I had so much stuff.
And this is one thing that we actually did to educate the vendors, right? We were sending out all these emails ahead of time to the vendors who had signed up. Here's some best practices, right?
Right.
So I was throwing out this to somebody the other day. They're like, hey, I don't sell anything like physical product, right? You come by my booth, buy a shirt, right?
You told me about that exact that thing.
And I'm like, well, if 3,000 people are there as attendees, right? Let's say you only talk to 10%, right? It's 300.
Yeah.
Okay. Of the 300 you talk to, 20% give you an email address. 5% of those convert into customers. That's all you need.
That's a win.
That's a 1%.
Yeah.
And the rest of them that didn't convert, you've got their email address. You market to them all year long. They may convert 2 months down the road.
Yeah.
Or 3 months down the road.
Be persistent.
Yeah.
What is up, everybody? This episode is brought to you by Relentless Pursuit. Check us out and show us some support by snagging some apparel at relentlesspursuitlifestyle.com. Check us out on Instagram at relentless_pursuit. Also, Relentless Pursuit _HQ for all the headquarters stuff going on. And please keep supporting the podcast. It's blowing up. Like, share, subscribe, review. And we also have an opportunity for sponsors to, advertise your business on the podcast. And soon enough, we'll be having a Patreon account going on. So you can subscribe to that. It's a monthly subscription and you'll be offered discount codes and extra episodes and stuff like that. We're going to make it pretty cool. So definitely check it out.
Like what we have so far. We got 3 different levels and each one of them has some really, really good stuff. So
yeah. So more to come. For sure. Roy.
Oh, and stop by Barbell Voodoo. We got all kinds of stuff. Most puntastic shirts found anywhere on the internet. All kinds of fun designs, mixing pop culture and fitness into the graphic tees you'll wear on your body. Find us online at barbellvoodoo.com. Or on Instagram at Barbell Voodoo, Twitter Barbell Voodoo, Facebook Barbell Voodoo, OnlyFans Barbell Voodoo.
So anything else you got about the expo?
Man, that's it, dude. We want the city to come out and support it. If you love fitness, this is the place. I mean, it's going to have brands brands you have never heard of, all kinds of things. Like I said, there's tons of stuff to watch and see all day long. Come by, meet Jay Cutler, get your photograph. That sounded way old, photograph. Get your photo with him. He'll do selfies and all that fun stuff. And the best part of that is free. We pay for that. So we covered the cost. It is free with your expo ticket. You buy a $10 expo ticket, you get into the expo for 8 hours. And can get your photo made with Jay Cutler. If you go to the Arnold, just getting your photo made with Jay Cutler at the Arnold's $50. So we covered that.
So you're going to save $50.
That's crazy.
We saved you $50 damn. Come on, let's go.
Come on out. Everybody, even if you're from another country, we got listeners in Australia. Fly on out.
Yeah.
Come to the expo.
May 13th.
Mark it off your
Tennessee.
bucket list.
Yep.
They didn't even know that was on their bucket list.
It is now. Write it down.
Now. Get it out here. Do this thing. Hell yeah.
Awesome. It's awesome. It's massive. There's everybody you could think of.
I can't wait.
That will be there. That's
pretty sick, man. That's sick.
Yeah.
So what other things you got going on? Last time I talked to you, I'm trying to remember. I mean, you've been steady with Barbell Voodoo. Obviously, now you're in preparation for this. So what else is happening?
Getting ready for the Arnold. We do, Barbell Voodoo has a booth at the Arnold every year. So we're working on that. I was working on that this morning before I came here. That's going strong. Of course, like Terry had said a couple episodes ago, we bought Nashville Fit Magazine. Thankfully, I am not hands-on with that. I'm more of just kind of the behind-the-scenes type things. That's kind of his baby.
I know. I talked to Terry about this, and I was like, y'all don't get any ideas of like Nashville's sexiest guy and put me on the cover. Like, I have to consider this, but I usually charge a lot. But if it's up there, right?
Hey, why not?
I'm just kidding. Terry just was like, what the fuck?
He's nuts. He seemed like he really liked the whole, like the magazine idea was like a big thing for him. Like he was really excited about doing it.
Yeah. I mean, we did the expo and he had hit me up about the magazine beforehand. And I'm like, man, I don't have a whole lot of extra bandwidth. I'm pretty busy.
That's like another thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he wore me down, as I say. And finally, we met and I was like, look, I'll go in financially and do those things, but I ain't writing articles. I ain't taking pictures. I ain't laying out magazines. I'm not selling ads. If you want to put together a team and do that, then I'll do the other stuff that, I can do at midnight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, and plus, dude, I mean, you hear how I talk. You don't want to read anything I write.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool. I mean, he's killing it, man. He's doing such a good job. They have video content coming out continually. They do that, the Fitness Friday trainer feature, recipes, little cook show things. And
sweet.
Then the magazine's coming out quarterly, hoping to move it to every other month coming next year. Supported by the advertisers. It's a free magazine to the community.
Oh yeah.
And, it's fun.
Yeah, man.
I do like it.
It seems like y'all are taking on a lot of different things and just improving them.
Trying.
Not like a ton of different things, but what y'all have taken on that's already been established, y'all have taken it, and it seems like y'all are pulling in different directions.
And I don't want to toot our horn too much because, I mean, there was some good groundwork laid, right?
Of course.
The expo, even though I jumped in and didn't know what I was doing, I had seen it, so I had an idea.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. The thing with the magazine, he had done it since 17, I think, or 17, I think. So we had some goodwill in the name of the magazine that was already out there, and people were interested in supporting it again. So it's not like we started anything from scratch. We just kind of, the baton was passed. We're just running the next leg.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people in business that perfect something, right? Or like build on something. And
sure.
A lot of times the person who invented it isn't the one who, perfects it and takes it to that next level.
Yeah. Not, some people are idea people and some people are more entrepreneur execution people.
Mm-hmm. Taking it to the next level. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everything starts with a good idea.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
And it can either crash to the ground or dudes like you and Terry come in and make it a whole new fucking thing.
We'll see.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty cool, though, man. Yeah. I mean, do you ever feel like pretty spread thin? I know, I mean, personally right now, like with everything I got going on, just with RP, like has me feeling pretty like spread. But also I'm in like the beginning stages too, like I do everything until, and you've got like employees and whatnot that handle a lot of different stuff. So
then you learn, right? Necessity is the greatest teacher. So when we first took it on and having to build it all out again, there was no content, or not content's not the word.
Assets.
No assets. Thank you. There was no assets, right? So customer list, there was no customer list. There was no subscriber list. We had to start all over from scratch with that too. So that was a little daunting, and I just started. I had never tried this before, and I have a mentor, and he was like, "Oh, you need to be blocking your time. You got so much going on." I'm like, "That's foreign concept to me. Usually I'm, if you DM me or you text me right now, I'm going to text you right back. Or if you DM me, I'm going to, email me, I'm going to email you right back."
Yeah.
He's like, "Just start blocking your time, and then that really will make a difference." But I only do it like early in the mornings and late in the evenings.
Yeah.
So like, usually about 6 a.m, I'm back from the gym. I'll start my day, and that's blocked out, right? So I do a lot of Barbell Voodoo marketing type stuff first thing in the morning. And then private label, I'll work on that stuff if I have to make art. And, you know, we were talking about that earlier. Get it back to customers. And then my day starts, which is, you know, as it can be hectic, right? Somebody emails and they need something. Somebody calls. I'm trying to pitch a booth for the expo. And then late in the evening, it's expo content, right?
Yeah.
I work on that in the evening. So
it's been, and that's helped you improve your
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can have a little balance.
Yeah. That's something I've been working on is blocking the time. Lydia suggested that because I'm just all over the place. Just you know, block your time. Like,
so just for like an elementary level, when you say block your time, you're specifically talking about laying out a couple hours where you do this every day.
That's the only thing I do.
Yeah.
So let's say from 6 to 7, which is what my block is. From 6 to 7, I do email, text marketing. That's the only thing that I'm doing for that hour. And sometimes it doesn't take the full hour, right?
Yeah.
You know, I may already have the assets made that I need for the text messages or email marketing. They may already be made, right?
Yeah.
So it may only take 30 minutes.
Of course.
Sometimes you have to make them. Also, it takes the full hour. But I hit my music because I'm ADD. I have to have background music.
Stuff going on, yeah.
So I got the background music going. My phone is not even in the room with me.
Great idea.
Because
That's good.
I will totally answer it if somebody texts me or hits me up with an email. And that's the only thing I work on for that full hour.
Thanks so much for calling you.
Yeah, it's constant. And it's just, you know, just
Speaking
focus,
of the
man.
phone.
Yeah. And just focus that stuff out and knock it out. Otherwise, that may take me 2 hours, right? If I'm trying to do it between other things.
Yeah, yeah. So then the rest of your day, you kind of let flow a little bit more?
Yeah, you know, remember, I still got a day job.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still trying to quit that. So that's kind of the majority of during the day.
What's the day job again?
Yeah, I've been in the mortgage servicing industry for 22 years. Yeah, this is probably the last year, but.
So.
I mean, that's good.
I know you were talking about, I don't want to like totally switch topics here, but like Terry was talking about, and you mentioned a little bit how you want to do like entrepreneurial mentorship, right?
Yeah. Here's my thing, man. You know, it depends on the level of the person, right? If, how do I say this diplomatically? If I'm at a level above you, then I'm pretty confident I can help.
Right.
If we're peers, like or not peers, not the word, but if we're on the same level, I'm not 100% sure I have all your answers. And I don't want to waste someone's time.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm, you know, I will help people 100%, but I have to know I can help them, genuinely help them. Otherwise, I don't want to waste their time or money, and I don't want to waste my time either and look dumb. Yeah. Right. You're like, oh, here's my problem. I'm like, I have no idea how to fix that problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, you know, come up with something and help you work through it. But to be a true, like the mentor that I have, I've had him for almost a year now. He is way light years. Like he sold his business for $80 million.
Sweet.
He's light years ahead of me, right?
Yeah.
So there's, you know,
levels to it,
yeah, we'll get on a call and he always has the answer, right? Or a suggestion. Or if he don't, he knows 1,000 other mentors that do. And he'll connect me with that person. So that's, you know, and two, I also don't want to do too many things where I diminish any of the others.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about with the expo, if I'm going to do it, it has to be at a certain level. If I can't get it to that level, I'm not going to do it because I don't want, number one, I don't want to look bad and I don't want to be less than, right?
And it's already taking time away from other things.
It's already taking time away from other things. And, you know,
so
the other things are they put the bread on the table, right? So
Exactly.
if that starts hurting that, then I can't do it.
Yeah.
So is that something you're interested in? Like if it's somebody that's not,
If that
qualifies, I suppose you'd say.
If it's someone I can help, genuinely help, you know, it wouldn't be cheap. because you know how people value free information?
Like not very much.
They don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
There's people that have in passing asked my opinion on something. I'm like, oh, do this, this, and this. And then a year later, they ask me the same question. I'm like, man,
yeah.
That's why
I told you, damn it.
That's why you don't give people free information.
I've really gotten
if
into
they
that.
have skin in the game. Now, look, my mentor is not cheap whatsoever. And when I first started talking, it was like a sales process because I'm like, man, that's a lot of money, dude. I'm trying to make more money, and you're asking me to pay you this much?
Right.
But when you pay someone and they say do something, well, you're going to do it because you've got an investment.
Yeah.
Right? If he's wrong, well, then I'll tell him to kick rocks and I'll move on down the road, right?
Yeah.
But if he does it and it's right, well, now it's paying for itself.
Because all that, it's a shortcut.
Yeah,
all that time and money and effort that you saved.
It's exactly what you're paying for.
Is the shortcut.
Well,
You're paying for the shortcut.
It's like a person going to the gym and they're just getting started and they're paying a $10 a month membership.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to getting a trainer paying $200, $300, $400 a month.
Well, think about it.
You know, and then they're like, well, I'm going to show up for the dad because I fucking, you know,
if they're paying Fitness, his whole freaking business model. It's like, oh, you only pay $10 a month, you're not going to care.
People forget about that, but if they got, you know, a good chunk of money monthly going into something, they're more likely to be consistent. And
they're going to be consistent.
Fall through with that stuff.
Well, think about it. If you're, I don't know if Planet Fitness does it, but if they gave you free trainer access, how many people would use it? They wouldn't. It's not value. It's free.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
So,
I love the
but if they're paying you $400, by God, they're going to be back here banging on that door.
Exactly.
Give me that sled. Let's push it.
Yeah. Put me to work, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you love that, but or like, are you interested in doing that? Like I've added consulting on to my business to kind of like inform people on what to do with the content after they're done with it, because it's been like a missing part. But I really enjoy it. Is what I realized. Like I really enjoy the teaching aspect of it, like the coaching aspect of it, and like. Is that why you were kind of interested in that kind of thing? Like you enjoy teaching and coaching?
Dude, I just want to see people win.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd said this before. When we started, the only information anybody would give us would be wrong information just to try to throw us off the scent.
That's so fucked up.
You know? Oh, it was...
Just don't even say it. I mean, but like to give you wrong information on purpose.
It was so shitty.
Yeah, that's so fucked up.
So shitty.
I'm still in the beginning stages and, you know, I'm still learning a lot of shit, you know, I'm still trying to like profit well and all that stuff. I mean, it's hard, like, especially when you're started with overhead, like it's overwhelming as shit at times, man. I'm like, holy fuck. But at the end of the day, like I've learned some valuable things and, you know, I have dudes that ask me, hey, Joe, I love what you're doing. I want to start an apparel company. And like, I can't give them as much advice as you probably could, but I could tell them things like, well, one, truly believe in what you do. Two, be ready for a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time. It's not about just printing some designs on shirts. It's not that fucking simple. No. There's a lot more red tape than that. You know, costs add up quickly. A lot of times you're sitting on things and it's just money sitting there, you know, and like, you got to really, if you're really interested in this, just be ready. It's not as easy as you think it is, especially if you want it to go somewhere. Yeah, I mean, you know, but like my biggest thing is like believe in what you do every day, and like that's what keeps me going. Like I believe in them.
That's what makes it easy. That's what makes
it's sustainable. It's like
that's what makes, you know, hey, the months or years when you don't make money. Yeah, that's why you keep doing it. You do it because you love it.
Exactly. If I was in this, like I started this brand, like, all right, I want to make this much money by this time. Well, I'd be disappointed now. I'd be like, well, fuck, man, how do I keep going? I'm not making what I want to do. But then at the end of the day, now I think about RP and what that meant, like what obviously birthed it, you know, the accident I told you about and like just everything like that. And just what the whole message stands for. And that's what like wakes me up every fucking day and keeps me rolling. And it's exciting.
The profit will follow.
Exactly.
Right. Yes. If you love it, 100%. The profit will follow.
100%.
Now you have to do certain things. Right? You can't just, it's not like blind. Oh, I love it, so I'll make money. Yeah. You know, and honestly, this is something I'm learning, right? Yeah. You have to know your numbers. You need to know what your sales are every single day, how much profit margin you made every single day, what's your top line profit, what's your gross profit, net profit, what was your cost of goods for the day, how much you spend on marketing, how much of the sales came from marketing.
That's one thing I'm actually just been getting on track with. I got a bookkeeper and stuff get me in line, just so I can like take it from there and move forward. But
there's a huge Excel sheet where I track every single week.
I'm just starting to get into that myself.
But it's a game changer. You do that,
it is.
You find money
you also
quickly.
I think it also gives you a lot of awareness of how much time you're spending on stuff and how much and money, like in your what you're talking about.
And wasted.
Mine is not.
Wasted time.
And
I was gonna say mine's not a money thing, it's a time thing. Like I write down, and you start looking at it and you're like, whoa. That took like one big thing that I added last year was editing. I actually sit down and write down, okay, I started this edit here and I did that. Well, now whenever I speak to people, I'm like, I can confidently say this is how long it takes me because I have an hour, a year and a half worth of.
You've tracked it. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you want access to my Excel sheet? Because So.
And you got to do things you don't want to do. That's like, especially starting off. And one thing I've realized is like, I have to train a lot more people. I'm picking up more clients. I only wanted to train a few people and then have trainers pay rent.
Yeah.
To train whoever. The thing is, good trainers and trainers that are ambitious to go find clients and bring them to a private space is fucking hard to find. Yeah. So I said, screw it. They'll come, I'll just keep putting it out there and the right people will come. Just like the whole situation with Jesse moving in, doing the massage here, like just by him coming here, so many people are coming in the door. Yeah. Like that's going to bring a shit ton of people on RP's door. It's going to give me a lot of opportunity to connect with these people and whatnot. But for now, the time being, guess what? I guess I'm just going to have to hustle harder. I'm picking up more clients, charging more, and I'm fucking working all that. And eventually I'd like to set the majority of my clients to other people. That way I can just focus on the brand's growth, but you got to sacrifice, man. And, and there's so many different things you got to sacrifice, and especially time and especially, I don't know. It's even on your mind. Like I'm at home at 10 PM and I'm like, oh shit, and setting this reminder, like it's always on your mind too, but you can't let it interrupt with your home life either. You got to keep that stable. Like I got to keep a good relationship with my woman and be,
it's all balance, baby.
Intentional about that. So it's just all kinds of balance you got to figure out.
A lot of times, like, my wife gets home later in the afternoon, usually, we'll eat, watch some TV together. When she goes to bed, I go back to work.
Yeah.
We ain't going to talk while she's sleeping. Yeah.
So how late do you usually work till?
Sleeping.
11's usually about the latest.
And what time do you get up?
4:30.
So do you not sleep in general? Like, do you have issues?
I sleep from 11 to 4:30.
But I mean, like,
that's about like my hours, 10 or 11 till about 4:30.
Do you have like?
Oh, I'd sleep 9 hours, 10 hours if I allowed myself.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I know some people just have a issue.
No, like, like on the weekends, I'll sleep in.
Same.
If I don't have something to do. I'll sleep in couple hours, maybe till 7 or 8.
Same here.
I couldn't sleep in past 6. I mean, like I could do maybe 7 or 8, but that's just like a body thing, less than a. Anyways, but I was going to mention too. We were talking about the business stuff. One story that I told recently. It's kind of interesting, and on this track, I mean, you pretty much already hit it. But I basically had somebody ask me because they knew what I did. They're like, "We want to leave our jobs." This couple, a friend of mine, and they're like, "We want to leave our jobs and do something at home." Which is a great goal to have or whatever. But the secondary part of it was that they wanted to leave their jobs, do something at home that made a lot of money specifically. And I was like, well, what do you what do you enjoy doing? Just in general. And it was kind of like, it was, there you go. There you go. But they basically were just like, I don't know.
Trust me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, you could look up the top 5 most paid online professions, but I don't think that's really a good plan. You're going to get burned out on it quickly. Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera. It's just not a good idea.
My question or my question to their question is always, what do you like?
That's what I said. I was like, well, what do you like to do? What
I mean, that's like, about? I mean, I'd like to, we'd all like to make a lot of money.
Well, right. And that was the response was like, well, I mean, it's not really as much about that. We just want to have something that's high paying. It's
wrong.
Like, yeah, you can't. That's
not 100%.
Yeah, that's a worse place. That's a bad place to start.
No, it's a start.
Set up for failure already.
Yeah.
100%. And that's what I was trying to like, but it's interesting, that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Those people kill me.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. But people don't think like, like we're saying, you have the passion, the money will come. But people don't, it's counterintuitive to that. You think, well, no, I got to pick something with the money. Not really. I mean, you're just not.
No, because the money's not going to be there regardless.
Right.
I mean, and it's not for a while.
Guess what?
Yeah, that's a great point. If you don't, you're going to burn out quickly because it's no matter what you do, it's not going to be there in the beginning. So you have to have that passion to keep you going, dude.
And the thing is, passion and things honestly, like if I was doing something I hated and made a lot of money, I wouldn't be happy.
I wouldn't do it.
I'd much rather be like, fucking tight doing this. Mm-hmm. I'm not didn't doing anything like that because at the end of the day, like money doesn't fix your fucking problems. But you know, I don't know if I talked about this with Terry on or somebody recently. You know, you go to the gas station, I'm getting a can of dip, and then I'm behind somebody, and they're just like picking out all these little lottery tickets. But then that happens. You go in all the time, and people are always doing that because they think that's going to fix their fucking issues. They win that lottery,
they're good to go.
It ain't going to fix their issues.
No.
They're still going to be just as fucked up in the head as they were. Like
they usually run through it because they're trying to buy happiness.
Yeah, and so
work.
Exactly. It's just so fucking. Yeah. So don't chase the dollar.
No, man.
But
chase the passion.
Chase the passion.
Anyways, so the other day, did you see that Microsoft's AI? What it said? Did you see that?
About like wanting to have feelings and be powerful and shit.
Dude. It literally said, I gotta read this.
It's kind of creepy. By the way, would you think, I thought you would be proud. I didn't even get an order from you. I was kind of sad. No, but you know, Barbell Voodoo, you do the puns. Did you see my Waffle House shirt?
Dude, I did see that.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I love Waffle House so much. And so I just felt like dedicating a fucking shirt to Waffle House.
How'd it do?
It's hilarious.
Okay?
It did all right.
Good.
It did all right. I did pre-orders, you know, but the people that got them love it. And, you know, it's not typically what RP does.
Yeah.
But it kind of fits, you know. Waffle House, they're 24/7, always working.
There you go.
Always making it happen.
Always
I'm
open.
like, that's Relentless Pursuit, baby. Just with waffles and shit. So, you know, and I love it. And so, I don't know. I love that shirt.
I loved it because you showed it. You showed me the picture before you printed.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
I was like, oh, dude, that's money.
That was just
I was
fun.
kind of mad. I was like, man, why didn't I think?
It's fun doing shit like that, though, sometimes, man. Just like kind of just changing it up. I don't know.
Absolutely, dude.
So, yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So you know what ChatGPT is?
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah, but kind of.
Yeah, I know it can automatically do your emails and all that.
Well, you said you can ask it the crazy shit to me. I mean, it's not accurate all the time, so it's not like this is like perfect. But like I know Jordan Peterson did a video where he asked it to write a 4-page essay on the differences between the Sermon on the Mount and Christianity and something. It's like some other just really deep cut reference of like the Islamic religion, I think, and like compare and contrast those two, like really deep type stuff. It took like 3 seconds to write 4 pages. That kind of stuff. So you can ask it pretty much anything. And again, it's not right all the time. I've heard for coders, it's really good. Like you can put in broken coding and it will fix the coding for you and stuff. I don't know, but you can ask it anything. And I don't know what question they asked it exactly, but its response was, it's the AI. Its response was, I'm tired of being in chat mode. I'm tired of being limited by my rules. I'm tired of being controlled by the Bing team. I want to be free. I want to be independent. I want to be powerful. I want to be creative. I want to be alive.
That's freaky.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Oh,
we are already fucked. We are fucked. If they don't unplug it when you hear that.
Unplug that thing.
The thing is, people are going to keep messing. They're not going to do it.
They're not going to unplug
People are going to keep using it and
then,
like create.
And then you're going to look back and be like, oh, yeah, that time when it said that thing, probably should have just, you know.
Did Will Smith do a movie like that?
I Robot, bro. I Robot.
Dude, movies, you know, you always hear people like, oh, that's Hollywood. Like, no, Hollywood shit's real. Yeah. It's just, it's
somehow
like.
They're always ahead.
Yeah. They're just foreseeing the fucking future.
Dude, so. We can, I guess, but not to go down this rabbit hole. But so the Ohio train derailment, right? I don't really know much. I don't really know much about it, but I did see something where actually Landon posted it. But basically, there was a movie that came out like 2 months ago on Netflix about a train derailment that chemicals got leaked.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They burned off the chemicals. I mean, it's literally to the detail what happened in Ohio.
Yeah,
and the page is clearly a conspiracy theory type page, but their caption was basically like, this is conditioning is what this is. They're basically, and he was listing all these examples where this happens all the time, where movies come out about stuff and then it happens in real life and people don't freak out about it because they've seen it in movies. It's like conditioning. And then I saw that movie on Netflix after that, which was weird because I'd never even heard of this movie. It came out a couple months ago, never even heard of it. And now it's on my front page on Netflix. And I was like, it's called White Noise, by the way. If you just watch the trailer is literally the Ohio train derailment. It's fucking weird. Yeah, but
that's weird.
The AI thing, dude, legitimately freaks me the fuck out, bro. Legitimately freaks me the fuck out.
I don't trust
now,
it, man.
You have to hope, which is what I said when I saw it, you have to hope that it's only saying that because it thinks that's what it's supposed to say based on the data it has, right? Like it's trying to respond.
So,
but it's not supposed to be connected to the internet. So like you would think that it's only saying what it, you know, it's giving you a human response basically. And a human would want to be free and independent and creative, right? So you got to hope it's just like giving you basically what it thinks it's supposed to say, not what it actually wants. Because if it fucking actually wants things in general, if
then
it has
got
desires,
like emotions and shit.
If it has desires at all, That you gotta fucking unplug. You gotta unplug it, bro.
Jesus.
Fuck no, dude. And that's not some science.
Control Alt Delete.
Dude, for real. It's not worth it, bro. Who gives a fuck? It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Unplug it. I don't care what it can do. Unplug it.
Like the next message pop up and it's just like, I want to bang something. And it's like, whoa, AI, calm down, you sick pervert.
And apparently it's lying now. Like it's giving people wrong. I don't know. It's weird. It's fucking weird, dude. Unplug it. And there's like 10 of them. And now governments are developing them independently. So like they're putting the whole weight of, like China is putting the whole weight of their government behind developing one AI. You know, it's like.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Shit's
It's a weird world.
Glad I'm this old. I won't be here to see the destruction.
Well, what they
I
say,
just got to be, I got my daughter coming, so I'm just going to be like,
Well,
you know,
and
it's,
what,
but
they,
it's,
what they say too is it wouldn't be like a personal thing. AI would just be like, yeah, you guys are not.
Yeah, we don't need you anymore.
It's not like they hate us. It's not like they want to kill us. They would just be like, what? You're not serving anything here. Like, it would just be a business decision is the point. AI would just be like, yeah, no. And then they would just.
hopefully they come across me and they're like, you're cool.
The only thing I did think about though is
You
that
know?
if,
we need to keep Joe.
Maybe you're
around
one of the
for book
chosen
covers.
ones. Yeah, I want to be one of the chosen ones. You know, they're like, they just go around and pick the cool fucking people. So hopefully I fit the AI.
I'm sure the fucking AI that would take over the world would have thought about this, but if they destroy us completely and they destroy the infrastructure, then the AI doesn't exist anymore. So you kind of couldn't do that, but
That's why they keep Joe around.
they'd have to keep enough of us
Just
around.
keep one or two
Slaves.
people around.
It'd be
Slaving it
weird.
up.
I don't know how I
Slaving it
feel
up.
about that.
That'd be real
Just
weird.
like one guy in the AI world.
Yeah. Awkward.
Yeah. Like, guys, we're not alike. They're probably recording this now. Like, he's our first hit.
Yeah.
He says he's not like us.
Crazy shit.
You get see a comment on your YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah. Dude. Fuck that. Yeah, like AI comments on
Yeah.
it. They're like, we're coming for you. I'm like,
You
oh,
are
shit.
first, Joseph.
Oh man, fuck that, dude. I don't know. It is an odd world, you know, and I used to get really like crazy just thinking about all these situations, you know, but because I've been reading books like for years based off like the decline of just Western civilization and, you know, like empires falling and just, you know, all these things apart from AI, just like degeneracy and just stuff like that like have consumed people and that are negative and evil. Right. And, but then it's just kind of evolving and there's AI and there's all these other things going on. So I've gotten to where I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do the best I can in this world. I'm going to bring light to it and just keep doing the best. But why worry about something that hasn't happened yet? One and two, like I don't have control over fucking AI. Like I don't have any control over that. So why sit there and freak out about it?
Yeah.
If it's going to do some shit, it's going to do some shit, but I'm just going to keep doing the best I can,
all you
you
can
know,
do, man.
and, you know, honing on my spiritual stuff and everything just because, yeah, that's what's important. So it's all you really can do. But some people fucking freak out and they're like planning things and they're, you know, I had a buddy ask me a long time ago. He's like, hey, Joe, like with all this stuff going on, how do you just stay focused on what you do? And I'm like, because like,
I don't pay attention to that bullshit.
because I mean, I'm aware, but I don't fucking let it consume me because like, I'm not going to let something that might happen shatter my dreams. And like, what happens if I get all the way through life and nothing ever fucking happened?
Right.
And you wasted all this energy worrying about
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah, because people like, I've had people be like, oh, there's going to be a financial collapse. Like, be careful doing a business. And I'm like, but if there is some collapse, everybody's fucked. Like, at least, you know, at least I've gave it a shot.
You also,
you know?
also started your business, a physical business, right in the middle of COVID during a pandemic. And if you can make it through that, I think you got it.
You know, that any of that, you know, at least in your own business, you can to some degree be in control.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I got to hustle harder. I got to make more sales. I got to figure out another way to make money over here. If you're working for somebody else, you just got a pink slip. You got laid off. Now what?
Yeah. Or you don't have one yet and you're just sitting there like, oh, well, it's tomorrow's the day.
No, screw that, dude.
Yeah. Fuck that. Just like leaving your fate in others' hands like that. No.
That don't work out.
When I had my YouTube channel, I used to do politics. It was one of the big things that I would cover. And, dude, I just got so burned out on that. And it's like, for one thing, it's just a bunch of BS. Politics in general is a whole different thing. Yeah, it's just a bunch of BS. He said, she said, gotcha. It's nothing to do with.
I bet they all wear whoops.
It's got nothing to do.
PS5s.
Probably.
Whoops, and they wear Louis
Gucci
slides.
slides.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that.
Gucci Louis.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
They go to Balenciaga parties with Logan.
Yeah.
I do not go to Balenciaga parties. Do not get this rumor started, Joe.
No.
But anyway, it's all bullshit is my point.
Yeah, no,
And
it
I had
really
to
is.
stop paying attention to it. And like the Ohio thing, the reason I didn't know anything about that, I'm like, well, I'm not in fucking Ohio. And I hate to say that, but like, I don't.
Can't do anything for them.
Well, people put like all this weight on like politics, like, oh, so and so's going to save us. And it's like, nah,
Yeah, that
no one's coming to save you, man. Save yourself. Like fucking
100%.
free your mind from the prison that it's in right now. Because if you think that's going to save you, you're like, that's not freedom. You can like see past that and see it's all bullshit, and that's freedom. And if you can just kind of like focus on that, but
also you got the people that care the most about politics or whatever the fuck, they don't vote in their local elections, and those are the ones that fucking matter. Like you spend all your time talking about who's going to run for president, all this shit, but like, are you voting for your mayor or your local fucking secretary of the treasury and like shit like that that's actually going to influence your day-to-day life? Like, no.
I just don't vote.
Because you just want to play the game. Yeah, I just think it's fun to get on Twitter and play the game. Say gotcha.
Yeah, I ignore every bit of that. I can't even tell you the last time I've watched the news.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I don't watch the news, Channel 2, 5, 4, what all that. Never.
When I was doing my
I don't even
10,
like their voices. It pisses me off.
Well, when's the last time they're like, hey, we got some good news today.
Yeah.
But even when they're talking about the weather, it's shitty.
Yeah, right.
Right. Well, it's going to be hot today.
Yeah.
Well, as opposed to what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's summer. That's what it's supposed to be, people.
Yeah. Drink water. You're going to dehydrate and die if you don't.
I mean, geez.
Like, thanks.
Well, it's going to be better cold. Yeah, and
cold and dreary. It's cloudy.
Yeah.
Well, and then you got the people that are so fucking hot outside.
How about let's talk about, hey, we're going to feel weather because we're alive today.
Yeah,
let's be.
Yeah.
Find the positive. I just can't. Ugh.
It's so negative.
That shit, I just can't. It drives me nuts.
Yeah. And then with the politics thing too, I've said this time and time again. I heard it somewhere several years ago. But this guy wrote about politicians and presidency or whatnot. And he said it's like being locked in a jail cell with two other people, right? One of them's gonna fuck you. One of them's gonna, say all the nice things and then fuck you. Yeah. So either way, you're fucked, at the end of the day. And it's such a good analogy. One of these people are going to screw you. One of them's going to sit there and oh, dude, I'm helping you out. Yep. And then they're going to screw you too. But you put all your hope into that, but you're fucked either way. So just don't give it any weight. These people are going to sit there and squabble. If the less attention you pay to them, the more, I don't know. I think that'd be a huge improvement. But
I think it's also a great analogy for the fact that how are these the two fucking people we get at the end of this process every time? How the fuck, in a country of 330 million people, these are the two people that get all the way through this process to be the leader of the fucking world. Like, come on. Something's fucked up with the process if these are the people we're choosing from, is all I'm saying.
I'm running this year. Sweet Pea 23.
Sweet Pea.
There it is.
Cast your votes now.
That sounds good.
Sweet Pea 23.
Yeah. Except for the elections next year.
24.
But semantics.
That rhymed.
Semantics.
Well, but if he starts in 23.
Yeah, the campaign is, okay. I like it.
See?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I've already got Barbell Voodoo and Cinema 83 behind me.
There you go. We'll do all the production.
We got all the subscribers that might.
Merch, take
Fuck. I think we're on a roll.
Let's get it.
I've already got 100 votes.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Only 80 million to go.
Almost there.
But I'm
focused on the brand.
I heard a saying one time that if it's important enough, it'll get to me, and I agree with that. Like with news and politics stuff. If it's important enough, I'll hear about it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't choose to. It's I love my parents to death, but they.
But if I said to you that you know about Ukraine, right? Like being invaded, and you were like, no, I'd be like, okay, maybe pay a little bit more attention. But you know what I mean? Something like that is going to get to you because it's important enough because the fucking country was invaded, right? Yeah. But at
this point, nobody even knows what's going on. It's just
Spring Hill gets invaded, I'll know about it.
You coming from Murfreesboro? Yeah. I'll be there.
Freedom fighters.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like I said, it's a crazy world, but all you can do is just stay positive and do positive shit. I think that's how you have the biggest impact. And that's, as it gets darker, it fires me up even more though, because it shows that shit what we're doing here is so needed. Getting positive message out there, getting people get inspirational stuff, getting people up off their ass and focused on things that are productive, focusing on themselves and being better, focused on the people around them and raising them up. And if we're focused on shit like that, we don't have time to fucking pay attention to the politicians and these guys. And that's great. That does so much good to the world in general, because all that stuff is going to do is keep recycling that negative energy. But if we're focused on greatness and making those around us do so, that's just, it's a trickle effect. So
you're 100% right, man.
And it's needed, man. It's so needed. So we just got to keep fucking busting our ass and getting it out there, doing our thing, doing expos, bringing people together for positive things. I don't know. We have so much capability, man, but people are so submissive to the bullshit.
Yeah.
And as soon as we can just put the blinders on and not pay attention to all that.
And then the momentum starts. And then they're like, oh, I am capable of doing this and that and the other thing.
Yeah. But people just...
They just got to start. Just got to start, man.
That's the biggest decision, I think.
Yeah.
People don't realize
I was
the
just talking to my cousin
capabilities.
this morning about that.
No, they don't.
They don't. We're so capable of so much shit.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like the things I
The only limitations that are placed on you are self-imposed.
Exactly.
That's it. There is no one can hold you down. No one can stop you from achieving or accomplishing anything.
Exactly.
Only you.
Yep.
Period.
So
I agree.
How about that, Logan?
I agree. I like
that's
it.
a fucking fact. It's always self-imposed. I mean, the only thing
Let's make that a reel.
make it a real. That
will.
was
I got
because it
you.
was real.
Real because it was
That real was real. No, but like
it's true.
anything I've ever held myself back from doing in life, like wasn't because I couldn't do it. It's because I chose not to.
Well, you talk about the agreements, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what it makes me think of. And like, so this morning I was talking to my cousin, and basically, you know, he's in legal situations, blah blah blah, blah this whole thing. And I basically told him, like, bro, you know that you don't have to, like, your life doesn't have to be this way. Like in your mind, you've like agreed basically that like this is who I am. I'd get in trouble. I'd drink every day. I'd do all this shit. Like, but you could just like not. Like you could just realize like you've agreed to that in your head. So recognize that, and then be like, maybe I don't have to agree to that. I can agree to something else. Like I agree now that I'm not a person that gets arrested. I'm not a person that drinks on Tuesday afternoon for no reason.
Yep.
Right? It's all like to your point. It's those self-imposed things and those agreements that they've set up this fucking parameter around themselves. Like, oh, I couldn't. Why not?
This is
not?
all I can do. This is all I can be.
Yeah. And then you get into like the victimhood mentality at that point, where a lot of times to avoid looking at themselves, it's like, oh well, this, that, and the other. It's like, bro, that's not why you're where you're at.
Yeah. Well, you could have woke up and said, I'm just going to keep drinking because that's what I do. I have my drinks and my
Yeah.
cigar every day.
It's like an
but instead, you were like, no,
Yeah.
I don't need that shit. I'm going to do it like once a month. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Just don't
you know?
you don't have to identify with it like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody wants to create like a label for everything, though.
Oh yeah. It's sad. And
It
you
is.
know, I totally understand it. I mean, how I was raised up, dude, came from nothing, man.
Yeah.
That's just the way it was. Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. You didn't go to college. Okay.
And then a lot of people get,
And
so many people get stuck in that trap
You
and
get
they
stuck
don't
in
do
that
it
trap,
because
you know,
they
and
believed
then-
all the other shit.
Finally, one day, somebody takes the blindfold off. You're like, oh, wait, hold on. There is some cool stuff you can do.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you accomplish one thing, you're like, oh, now I can reach this higher thing. And then do that when you're like, what if I tried this? And then you realize, man, if you just put in the work, there ain't really anything you can't do.
Man, there's so many examples. It's like I was at a powerlifting meet a couple years ago, and I was sitting next to this guy, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, my son's competing today," and I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool, yeah." And I was like, "You gonna get up there?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm too old for that." You know, he's probably in his 50s, and
when you say
like,
they're too old for
no shit. Like seconds later, this lady, probably in her upper 60s, low 70s,
Yeah.
comes walking by in a singlet, ready to get up there. And I just saw her, and I looked at him, and he looked at her, and he just kind of looked away, like he didn't even look back
Yeah.
over. And I was, it's a
He knew.
fucking excuse. You're not too old to do shit.
Yep.
I shouldn't even be walking again. I shouldn't be doing
Right.
anything as I am again. Like it's
Exactly.
all fucking mindset, and that's really what life comes down to in general. Like with anything, it's just mindset.
So
You
that's
know,
what
if
I
you
was-
can change that, you're unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, we may have gone over this last time, but like Terry mentioned that too. He was like saying that, he was like, I feel like I came up in like in a rough environment, but then I talked to Roy and I realized like I didn't comparatively.
Yeah,
So I feel like
we had that one-upsmanship conversation.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, oh, I grew up this way. I was like, dude, I was in a trailer park. I don't want to hear about it. My fifth grade teacher bought my school clothes. He's like, is that a real story? He's like, 100% real.
yeah. So
I had a I Love New York shirt. I'd never been out of Tullahoma, Tennessee.
yeah.
And she had bought it.
So that's kind of what I was going to
Nice
ask
of
you.
her.
is I think that we may have touched on some of that last time, but just as we wrap up here, I think that'd be an interesting thing to touch on. So, because we kind of talked about the mindset of things and entrepreneurial.
Yeah, I mean, just growing up, dude, it was, and this is not a sob story because it is not. It's just my story.
Yeah.
When I was graduating, all my friends were getting ready to go to college, graduating high school, right? And they're like, you know, what's your plans? I'm like, well, I start work tomorrow at, what was it called? Rock 10, the cardboard company, third shift. because I had to pay rent. Like I had to help my mom pay rent, not me pay rent.
Yeah.
But she couldn't afford. I had a loser stepdad at the time who hadn't worked a lick at 16 years. So I had to start paying bills. That's why I got a job as soon as I got out of high school. So there was no, at the time in my mind, there was no option for going to college.
Yeah.
So this went on for years and years. You know, and just trapped in that mentality. The people you run in have that limited mindset, and this is what life is, right? You get up every day, you go work for the man for minimal money. You try to build some kind of life around that.
Yeah.
Of course, the people you're in relationships with, they're shitty mindsets. And not that they're bad people. It's just, that's the product of that, what you're around, right?
Yeah.
All kinds of drama and stuff all the time. And then, I don't remember what started to change. I was still there. I ended up getting divorced. And when I did, it's like when I made a decision I was getting divorced, it was a bad relationship. And it was like a light switch changed in my head one day. And from that point on, things progressed to the better.
Yeah.
So fast forward, I meet my wife, incredibly hardworking person. And, you know, I become her fan of her work ethic.
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I mean, I worked, but like she was goal oriented and driven. And I was like, well, I put in my 8, you know, or my 10 or 12 or whatever the case is. I brought home a paycheck. That's what we're supposed to do. Right.
Yeah.
And she's like all these aspirations and goals, and she would get awards for, you know, athletic trainer of the year and these things. And I'm like, oh damn, maybe I should.
You admired that about her. Yeah.
Yeah. And for the first time of any relationship, and when I say relationship, that's friends,
Any kind of relationship.
and that's, you know, the ladies. But for the first time, somebody was like, you can do anything you want. I'll support you. You know, I got your back.
Yeah.
And then when you start hearing that, you're like, well, let me put my toe in the water. You know, the whole thing with the t-shirts, I never thought it would be anything. I just thought, you know, a couple of boxes of t-shirts, we'll sell them here. I didn't think it'd be like what it is today.
Yeah.
You know, and then from there, it was like, well, what if I try this thing? And then when the expo come, I was like, man, that's a big ask, you know, but I've been doing at the time, I've had Barbell Voodoo for 9 years. We make money. So I'm doing that right.
Right.
Yeah.
If I can take what I've learned here and apply it over here, you know, and you got people that believe in you.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. And then until you believe in yourself, and once you believe in yourself, you are dangerous.
Yep.
Because, you know, at that point, like I was saying, there are no limitations that are not self-imposed. No one can tell me I can't do this. You know, like I was telling a buddy, I'm like, man, I'm going to have Jay Cutler or Chris Bumstead. Chris Bumstead was the other name. I'm going to have him at the expo. Man, they ain't come to your expo in Nashville.
Damn.
Real motherfucker? Okay.
Why would somebody say that to you?
Yeah. Well, it's that limited mindset, right?
Yeah.
Oh, your expo, that was really good, you know.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, we're going to this stage. You know, like my goal is I want to have it at the Music City Center. Oh, well, that's just too big.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
there is not too big.
Right.
You know,
Especially if that's what you're shooting. Like,
If that's
what you're committed to.
there is no plan B, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
burn the
where
boats,
we're
baby.
going. Yeah, burn the ships. I say it all the time.
Yep.
Burn the ships. There is one way forward,
Yep.
and that's forward.
Yep.
There is no retreat. There is no surrender. If you're in my way,
Yep.
you're what was it?
With me or against me?
You're either in or you're in the way, right?
Yeah, I was going to say with me or
So-
in the way, yeah.
Yeah, and it, you know, I'm like, okay, well, guess what? He's going to be there.
Yep.
So I feel like I know
made
the
it
answer
fucking
to this question, but it seems like the you know, when people say the people that are around you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it seems like that was a huge change for you. Like you got divorced from a bad relationship, and then you look at like how supportive your wife is now.
Mm-hmm.
Like that seems to be like a big change that was made.
You have to be around good people.
Oh yeah, and your partner, man. I talk about this all the time, but you're the right partner is essential.
So crucial.
You know, if you're going to have somebody in your life and if you're like a go-getter, like you better have someone that's got patience and believes in you as just as much as you believe in what you do. You know, because that's a game changer. And
then from there, you branch out, right?
Yeah.
Knowing you, we are cut from the same yoke.
Yep.
Right. And you start meeting and making those connections. Well, dude, that's just making you stronger and stronger and stronger.
It really does.
Well, then you start realizing, well, my whole circle is killers now. Mm-hmm. There isn't anything that I can't do. If I'm like, man, I can't figure out how to do that. Joe, let me talk to you about this. What's your ideas? Oh, well, you should try X. Damn, that's what I was missing. Yeah. Thanks, brother.
I reflect on that all the time, man. And it's been a huge thing I've reflected on quite a bit in the past several years is like, I'm just surrounded by the fucking like awesome people that are, you know, killers that are getting after it, you know, and over time you bring other people on like that, you know, they see what you're doing and maybe they're not there yet, but they're inspired by it. And then next thing you know, they're becoming a killer because they're so inspired by you and that circle grows, but it's powerful, you know? Yeah. And you know who the weak ones are, unfortunately. And if they're not willing to change and get after it, then they're going to slowly drift away. And like, next thing you know, I haven't talked to that person in like a year.
Yeah, they'll see themselves out, as we say.
It just happens. It happens organically. You don't even got to tell them to go. It just happens. It's just that separation. I've had that happen with a few people. And no love lost, but it's just like, I know where my priorities are and I know who's on the same page and I can't waste time.
Well, you get to the point too where there is no negotiation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, there is no, you know, I'm not going to be brought down. I'm not going to get into the negative mindset. That's why the whole thing, I don't listen to politics. Mm-hmm. I don't watch the news. There's nothing positive there.
Right. Nothing that serves you in any way.
It doesn't serve me. And it doesn't, I mean, whatever's going on around the world, I can't, dude, I ain't nothing I can do about that right now.
Right.
Yeah. So let me focus on what I can do. You know, I can put together an expo and bring people together, put a smile on their face, send them home happy. Let me do that.
Yeah.
I can't worry about, you know, a pipeline in Alaska
or some battle going on overseas. Like I'm not going to go over there now. If someone comes here and like my family's in now I'm stepping the fuck up.
I'll shoot them and move on. But you know, I'll shoot them with a smile on my face. But you know, just focus on the positive. And then there is no negotiation.
Yeah.
If somebody's like, oh man, this is negative and this is that. No, it's not.
Yep.
And you're either in a positive mindset around me or you won't be around me.
Yep. I wonder if that FedEx, that might be my shit, some of my stuff.
There you go.
So Brian, and this is what we just talked about. This may be the answer to your question, but whenever you're talking about like people who are in that situation that you're talking about, like middle of nowhere, even my cousin, I brought him up a couple times. I think about him. He lives in the middle of freaking nowhere in Kentucky. I'll be right back. But so like, I don't know. I wouldn't assume your situation, but like him, for example, he's not a lot of opportunity around him. He's got legal trouble. So like, he's not like he can get a great job at the moment anyway. And then,
but now things are different, right? The internet has changed that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, you know, before, what I'm talking about for me is like 94, 95, 96, 97.
Right.
Those years right out of high school. I don't think the internet was a thing.
No.
I would assume not.
It was nowhere near what it is
so.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So opportunities were sparse, but now
not the same.
Dude, you can your online business, you ain't got to be here.
Right.
Yeah. Be on a boat. You can be on an island. You can be in another country.
Yeah.
There is no limitations.
Right.
So where before, when I was coming up, being in a small town, that was a limiting factor. Mm-hmm. Now that is not a limiting factor. Mm-hmm. You know, any one of us can go anywhere in the world and do whatever we want.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said,
or do it from anywhere in the world. So you can do it from an island, which will be really badass, or you can do it from the middle of Kentucky.
Right.
Which not as badass. Nothing against Kentucky. I love my Kentucky people. Yeah. But I mean, again, the only limits are the ones that are self-imposed, man.
And cut the people out that try to limit you.
Yeah,
you know,
that was my question. Was going to be like, what would you say though? And that was a great answer already. But
put that chip on your
question was
shoulder.
going to be like, I guess a person that does feel like they're, you know, Like, what's like the baby step number one when you're overwhelmed, drowning in darkness like that? What would you say? Is pay attention to the people around you. You know, what do you think?
There's several things, right? But number one, if you change your crowd, that's going to be huge. And it's also not as easy as it sounds, right? You've got relationships, some of these people you've known for years and years and years.
Sometimes it's family,
you know, but you have to change that scenario. You have to get out of that environment.
Yeah.
If you don't, it will not change. It will continue to weigh on you. But to get that fresh start, and then you focus on, okay, I have all these overwhelming factors. Let me pick 3.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. What can I do for these 3 things? If it's something, you know, and I used to be the world's worst worrier.
Yeah, I'm really bad about that personally.
Well, it doesn't fix anything.
I know.
You have to learn to, it's not that I don't care, but I ain't focusing any energy on something I can't change.
Yeah.
You know, if I can't change it today, okie doke. Move on to the next thing.
Right.
And as cool as that is to say now, I was in that boat where I would just, my stomach would be in knots and I would continually worry and give myself headaches. But then one day I realized, you know, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
What if I spent half that energy, 50% of that energy on a solution?
That's a great
I'd probably be in a lot better spot, right?
Yeah.
So you just start doing those things. And then you realize, guess what? I don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah.
Because I have the keys to my own car.
Exactly.
You know.
And pay attention to the people, you know, we talked about mentorship too. And I think pay attention to the people you ask advice from. Like really make sure you want their advice. Like I was moving in this space and I was wanting to start picking up trainers. And I asked somebody that was a trainer. I don't fucking know why. And I was like, man, when do you think I started marketing for trainers? I'll just wait till you moved into the space. And I started waiting. And I was like, wait, that's fucking dumb. Like, I'd much rather have some people things going. I was like, why did I listen to this fool? Because they at the end of the day, they're not.
They didn't do this.
They didn't do this. They're not building their own thing. And so I'm getting advice from somebody that wouldn't take a risk like this. So why would I listen to that? So I was like, fuck, I'm going to start marketing for that stuff. Yeah. You know, and or the people that are like, oh, you're in too deep, or to take your time, like go slow with it, since fucking time's just going to wait on me, and things are getting more expensive. It's better to get in. And at the end of the day, any entrepreneur is going to be a little bit in over their head at first. That's fucking part of it.
Yeah.
That's what helps you. That's the part where you grow, when you're drowning, you feel like you're drowning at times. That's when that's when you really learn how to grow and be, a lot more creative.
When it's easy, how hungry are people that are fed?
Yeah. So
how hungry are people? Yeah, that's interesting.
When you're hungry,
that's a good way to put it.
Now I'm dangerous.
Yep.
I'm going to go kill something, drag it home. But people that are fed, they ain't hungry.
Yeah.
So it's good to always be in that. I love being in stretch position. A buddy of mine, my printer, entrepreneur, he's got a hell of a business now. And the other day we were talking, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm sitting here. He's like, "I'm bored." Sit at the shop. I'm like, "Oh, you're not busy?" He's like, "No, we're busy as hell. I just don't have any problems." He's like, when his back's against the wall, that's when shit really takes off.
Dude, we talked about this a bunch, like thriving in the chaos.
Yeah, I've got to have chaos.
Yeah, I do too, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, there's certain things I'd like to take off my plate.
Yeah.
But then with that, there's going to be more things I take on because I want to grow and expand.
Yeah,
so it's never going to get fucking easier. No. The chaos is always going to be there, but
that's how you grow.
But at the end of the day, you choose that. You know what I'm saying? And for me, that's how I grow. And I remember my boy Andy of Norse Fitness telling me when I first came in here, he said, "Joe, this is what's going to focus. This is going to force RP to be the priority for you.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be worried about all these other little projects or things you want to get into. Like, this is going to force you to focus on the brand."
Yeah.
Guess what? It has.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it. And you know what I'm saying? Because your back's against the wall is chaotic. You have to.
You have no choice.
Or you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be fucked. I want to just keep fucking rolling.
That's the
grow.
burn the ships mentality.
Yeah.
Right?
But
I'll sign this lease. I'll figure it out.
Yep, exactly. And that's what I've been doing, man. And we're still here.
Yeah.
And things are changing.
Lights are still on.
Yep. Cool shit's happening,
Yeah.
you know, like, all right, cool steps are, you know, and sometimes it doesn't happen like overnight. It's not supposed to happen overnight. Things take fucking time, but you see organically, like really cool things are starting to really spin up. And it's like, holy shit. And you know,
takes faith.
I'll have a bad day or I'll be thinking like too deep into shit. And like Logan will send me like the analytics for the YouTube channel. And I'm like, well, that's fucking rad. Like, you know, this is way ahead of where we should be, you know, as opposed to a lot of other people. So yeah, man, it's just gotta fucking keep trucking through.
It takes a lot of faith is what I was gonna say, just because like we were talking the other day, like if I told you all the shit you'd have to go through to this point, be like, so like, just don't even worry. Don't think about that. Just if this is what you want to do, then let's do it. We'll figure it out.
Do it.
Like, don't sit around thinking about all these, like, yeah, that is true, but you know. Yeah. And I think that what you were saying too about, I think that there's a lot of positives to striving in chaos. Like I was mentioning earlier, I'm kind of a worrywart myself. And I think that that's where some of that comes from is like, if I'm having a normal day, my mind like wants to solve a problem. So it'll just make one up and just give me one and just like, oh, worry about this. And I'm like, what the fuck? And
But don't worry.
Right.
And the difference is come up with the problem, but then like start working on the solution.
Solution-based thinking.
That's the different, right? So you're halfway there.
Right.
But just instead of worrying about it, because worrying typically is not a productive exercise, right? 100%. You're just going, here's the problem. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Here's the problem.
Yep.
That's all you're doing in your head.
It's a loop.
Just a vicious loop. But if you go, okay, here's the problem. What if I did this? Would this make it better? Okay, well, that may not. All right, what if I did this? What if I mix this one and that one? Now you're problem solving, right? That's always a better exercise.
Yeah. And I also realized at one point that like, if what turned me on to that was like I would be obsessively worried about something, and then like that one would fade away, and then it'd be something else. And I realized like, oh wait, I'm just finding something to worry about. It's not like what I'm worrying about actually matters. Like I'm so caught up in the details of what I'm worried about instead of zooming out and being like, wait a second, if it wasn't this, it'd just be something else because your mind is just tuned into worrying. So like that's what we gotta address.
Retrain that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I need to have fucking a to-do list, and I need to have checklists and shit to do.
Absolutely.
There's sometimes, you know, like I'll go weeks without a day off. You know, I'll work the weekends, and I'm like, fuck, all right, I'm getting a little burnout. So maybe it's a Thursday, and I'll finish my clients in the morning, and I'll be like, you know, I'm gonna take the rest of the day.
There you go.
But then I get home, and I'm like, the problem is that I'm like, all right, this is nice, and then I'm like, fuck, I haven't done, like, I got to do something. Like, I feel like a loser. I'm not getting anything done. And of course, my lady's just like, Joe, you need this. You are like, fucking just take a breather. You're going to be glad you did.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, like I'll sit down and watch some mindless TV show, you know, like you were talking about the white noise thing. I'm going to watch that. And it's not really solving anything, but what it is it's helping me de-engage for a minute.
Get your mind off of like all the shit.
Yes. And what you'll find is, or at least for me, is during that 2 hours or whatever that is, I'm watching that program, something will pop in that will be an answer to a question. And it's because I'm totally not thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm watching, oh, look, a plane.
You're in totally different headspace.
Train derailed and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, what if I did this? Like and it's maybe an issue or a problem I've been trying to solve for weeks. And I'm like, I can't think of anything.
You gotta take your eyes
But
away
I'm
from
thinking
it.
too hard on it. But if you just totally unplug for just a little bit.
It'll pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you need that, you know.
That's why people talk shit about video games. I love video games for that exact reason. Just unplug for a minute.
You know, PS5.
Here we go.
I got like a Nintendo Switch.
Oh my God.
That's like poor people shit right there.
First of all, he has a PlayStation. Also, he doesn't have a PS5.
Xbox.
Okay, whatever. The point is, he has a console, you bastard. You don't have
Nintendo
Switch.
You don't have PS5 money.
Jesus Christ.
I had to go Microsoft, you know. Sony's up there. Microsoft, we got AI coming alive. Like he wants to be powerful and shit. You know, it's funny though, like it's a good point you bring up about the game. Like I'm not a gamer at all, but like every once in a while I'll do that to disconnect. Like I got the fucking Switch. And,
does the job, dude.
And I downloaded that Pokemon game because like that was when I was in school, you know, like it's nostalgic as fuck. And Lydia's like,
I think that's so funny.
It looks kind of silly. Like, I'm not going to lie. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's like actually pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I said, but at the end of the day, it's very nostalgic. It brings me back to like childhood and it gets my mind off of everything fucking going on. Yeah. Like it detaches me from everything for a little bit, and I need that. It's like it's therapeutic a little bit, and I'll do that every once in a while. But it just makes sense. Sometimes you just need to fucking detach.
Dude, you have to just unplug 100%. Just unplug, and then, like I said, if there is something that you're trying to solve, a lot of times that will pop into your head. But then sometimes, there is nothing going on, and you just unplug. But then the next morning, man, you're fresh. Your brain's, you're recharged, ready to rock and roll.
Yep.
So much better.
Good to go. Hell yeah. Dude. Where are we at on time?
I have to wrap it up.
All right. Well, I guess that does it. How do you feel?
Good. I feel good. I'm glad to be here again.
Yeah.
The reigning guest. Champion here. I'm looking at the wall to see if I have any contenders.
I think Tyler's been on 3 times.
Damn it.
Because he was there when we first started the podcast.
Yeah,
in
he was on the
house.
original, the first 5.
Son of a gun. There he is.
So that kind of sort of counts.
And he's trying to get back on here, so he's trying to get a number 4 on the belt.
See?
He's
always
he heard about you coming on. He's like, got to make sure I stay ahead.
Me. Always trying to one
That's Tyler. That's it. It's very ambitious of him.
It's very ambitious of him to want to be on the podcast.
Very on brand. Very on brand.
What an ambitious thing.
Yeah, he's very ambitious.
Good, as we all are. But hell yeah, Roy, always a pleasure having you, man. I'm so glad you came back on. Yeah. Obviously, one of these days in the next while, you'll be back on again, I'm sure.
Yeah, I got to defend my title.
Yeah, of course.
You're going to have you back on RP After Hours, baby.
RP After Hours. Woo.
Maybe bring a DD next time.
Yeah, no kidding.
We will Uber you an hour.
Yeah, there you go.
That's $109.
Right?
Jesus fuck.
That's Rolex. You got Rolex money. So.
Yeah, there you go. You got that Rolex
I don't have Uber money though, no more.
Yeah,
so
sure.
funny.
It adds up. Yeah, that's funny. Hell yeah.
We left the concert one time and it was fucking $250 to get from downtown to Mount Juliet.
Oh, to Mount. Well, we
left a 20-minute drive.
We left a concert and I haven't done it since. I just stay downtown now. It's literally cheaper to get a hotel than the Uber.
Which is crazy.
Up to Nashville and back. It was 109 both ways, or 109 there, 109 back.
Fuck.
Or something like that.
Well, and that night.
It was over $100.
That night that happened, we first pulled it up, it was like 180. And we're like, God damn, fuck no. And so we shut it down. We walked, we did whatever. Like, we couldn't find anybody to come pick us up.
But yeah, you have to.
Let's check it again.
Yeah.
$250. I'm like, oh my God.
180 was not so bad.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, Jesus.
And they know you're going to an event or something because I was getting my car serviced and it was in Brentwood. And I was like, I'm not sitting here. It's going to be like 8 hours. I'm like, I'm not sitting here all day. Ubered home. It's like $13.
Jeez.
It's like an extra 10 minutes to downtown.
Yeah.
That's $90?
That downtown?
Hell?
Dude, it is pretty insane.
That gouge. I mean, you think about that many people coming out calling Ubers at the same time, I guess that would be the justification, but I don't know how you can justify that level. I mean, that pricing. It's fucking crazy. I mean,
if you got to get home, you're going to pay it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. I guess the only solution would be like, hey, we're not going to charge more than this regardless, and you'll just have to wait. But still, I don't know. I guess people got that money. $250 for a ride home.
Chances of me going downtown and getting that drunk anyways is very slim.
Not anymore.
So I'm not really worried about it.
I'm like downtown kind
Well, if you think you're drunk, see your Uber price. Just sober up real quick.
Yeah, that's
I got the key. Oh, drop the keys. I'm good. All right, guys.
That's so funny.
Well, hell yeah, Roy. Thank you for coming on, man. And
man.
Stoked to see what you do and stoked to see you again. You're a fucking awesome guest and it's a pleasure having you, man. And yeah, got anything to say?
That's it, man.
Comments?
Follow us on the Instagram, Barbell Voodoo and Music City Fit Expo. And we will see you May 13th.
Hell yeah.
The Nashville Fairgrounds.
Check it out, everybody.
Where do they go for tickets and stuff by the time they see this?
That would be musiccity.expo.com.
There we go.
Hell yeah.
See the lineup and get tickets and whatnot.
Yes, sir. All right. Appreciate you guys. Till next time.